Hello and welcome to the first lesson of my comic art course, really. This one is for primary school children, but that doesn't mean the parents can't get involved too. If you want to support the show, just head on to my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description. If not, no worries. You'll still get the show completely free. Anyway, let's get on with some design work. So this is our big nasty bad guy. He's called Contagion. Designed him specifically for this show. He's very similar to what's going on right now. He releases a virus that affects people's lungs, makes them cough really bad, gives them tummy aches, makes them genuinely very unwell. So we're going to find out who could be a hero to stop a guy like this. Okay. So, heroes come in many forms. You've got the likes of Spider-Man, who of course is all light and colourful and really upbeat and cheery. Then you've got the likes of Batman and Spawn, who are quite the opposite really, quite dark, quite brooding, with some dark powers. Then you've got the likes of Ms. Marvel. Okay. Who is a young girl just trying to find out what's going on, trying to help people as best she can with her cool, freaky powers. Then you've got the likes of Harley Quinn, not really a superhero, but popular and really, really cool. Then you've also got the likes of Witchblade, who's like a female version of, say, Spawn or Batman. It's a really dark, realistic sort of character. Myself, I think, because they don't get much representation, I think I'm going to go with someone the likes of Ms. Marvel. So I think I'll make our hero a young girl. Let's see. And what I like to do when we start drawing something, this of him. So let's see. So we know we're going to want it to be a young girl. Of course, you can go along with this. Just create your own character. Doesn't have to be the same as mine. Just create someone that you think's really, really cool and fits whatever qualities you think can fight a villain like Contagion. So I'm going to go with a girl. Let's go with teenage girl. You know, there's nothing more scary than a teenage girl, other than a angry mother. Let's see, what else can we go with? So, what Contagion needs is to be quite close to use his power. So we need someone who can fight from a distance. If you think of someone like maybe Cyclops from the X-Men, who has his powerful beams. Well, that's a good one. Beams. Let's see. Someone who can provide an antidote to someone like Contagion. I haven't planned any of this out, by the way, the hero that is. So it'll be a brand new character that I haven't thought of yet. Teen girl, fight from far, antidote. Has to be someone quick as well if they want to get away from. A big thing that's been said at the moment about this COVID-19 that's going around, and it's a very horrible thing, is to make sure you're quarantining yourself. So we'll put that word down. I don't know how helpful it'll be, but it might be quite good to have. Let's see. So, I mean, when we come to the teen girl, I think she should be very normal. Maybe something interesting about her. So what can be quite interesting about this teenage girl? Maybe she could have some sort of disability. Maybe she could be from a different ethnic background. I apologise for my handwriting, by the way. Make sure you're doing good handwriting lessons in school. Just have a bit of my cup of tea. Never draw without it, kids. Let's see, different ethnicity. Maybe she has been ill in the past too. But she's not going to let her illness define her, and she's not going to let anyone else get ill the way she got ill. So we've got a teenage girl who can fight from far. I think maybe we'll go with this one and this one. So she's been ill in the past and she's from a different ethnicity. We won't go with a disability because that can link in with the ill in the past, and we don't want to throw too much into the character because that can get a bit confusing. Make sure she's quick. Right, okay. I think we'll go with that. So, what I asked for you to have is 3 things. So, your paper, a blue pencil, okay, or it can be any colour really, but I like to use blue, and I like to use mechanical pencils as well, just because I find them easier to deal with. I can't be doing with like sharpening them all the time. And a normal pencil, again, mechanical, because that's how I work, but it doesn't change the outcome of the work at all. It's just whatever you're most comfortable with. So let's start with the blue pencil. So the reason I start with the blue pencil is because then I can get really, really scribbly and come up with a character, and I don't have to worry about being neat. I can save that for the normal pencil later. So let's have a little look. Teenage girl. So I like to start with the head. Get a good baseline down. No, she's young. I might make her a little bit younger than maybe. Give her a nice strong pause. So remember, your arms, they start to bend at roughly your hips. Okay. So that bit's going to be hidden, but it's good for me to have because it means I know where I'm going to be drawing. The rest of the arm comes down to just below the pockets. So that's the frame of her. Okay, so I hope you can see that. Done with the blue pencil. So what ethnicity can we give her? So Ms. Marvel is see if I can get some bits of Ms. Marvel up here. So she comes from a Muslim family. Okay, so that's her ethnicity. Massive Muslim population in the UK. You've also got, of course, Jewish people. You've got black people. You've got loads and loads of different cultures and different variations around this country. I think I'm gonna make our character a black girl. You know, because it's nice to keep things varied, isn't it? You don't want everything to be the same all the time. Right, make sure you use lots of soft features when you're drawing a teenager. When you're an adult, that's when you start to get grizzled and old like me. And you start to get... You get softer around the belly, but you get rougher looking in the face. And that's not what being a kid's about. A little button nose on her, I think. For me, at least. I hope yours are coming out cool. I'd love to see them. Maybe get your mum and dad to post them on the Facebook page. So that's J Horner Illustration on Facebook. So when you're drawing eyes, just bear in mind you've got to keep the eyelids in just a little bit. Okay? This is a very cartoony version. I'll just zoom in a little bit for you. So of course you've got the iris. You've got the colour of the eye as well. We'll go into more detail about that soon. Might change her expression a little bit. She's angry at Contagion. He's hurting people, and she doesn't like that. I think it might be quite cool to leave one side of her head shaved. And then the other side a bit wild. One thing I've noticed in the Marvel movies is they're not that big on secret identities anymore. So, of course, Spider-Man has a secret identity and everything, but Captain America's known as Steve Rogers. After the end of the first Iron Man film, he said, "I am Iron Man," and he was well known. People know who Hawkeye and Black Widow are. So, maybe she doesn't really need a secret identity. Maybe that's something from the past. Maybe she just needs to be super, you know? Let's even out the side of her a little bit there. Now, she's young, so let's put her in young people's clothing. Make her contemporary. So let's get a hoodie. So when you're drawing clothes, don't forget you have to get the folds in. So of course that folds there, for example. Let's get something underneath, like a turtleneck sort of thing. To give her some armour. fight this contagion. So let's make it like that. Good thing to do is study your anatomy, just to make sure you're getting things right. It even helps when you're making things like armour decisions. Of course, six-pack abs look nothing like this, but that's the benefit of being in that type of armour. I think will give us some sort of mask though. I'm thinking maybe some goggles. Follow around where the eye and the eyebrows are. Make sure you get the strap in between and the strap at the back as well. Yeah. She's fighting a guy like Contagion. She's going to have to make sure she's wearing some gloves. I will be doing this lesson again for comprehensive school children. Because I think they're like different things. Smart armour back there as well. They're into different things, so we're probably going to do a darker hero for them. Right. You've got to remember, look at your own body when you're trying to figure out where where your anatomy goes. So like I'm going to draw a fist here, so I'm going to make sure I'm looking at my own fist to sort of get that right. This is just the blue pencils bit, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops. One thing about mechanical pencils is the lead does sometimes snap, although you just have to replace the lead. That was embarrassing. All you do when you want to replace the lead is you take the eraser out the end, you get your pack of lead, maybe 2 in, I think, and then you pop it in there, and then you put it back in there, put the cap on. There we go, good as new. Let's have a hoodie coming down here. That might be a good thing to have. Because what she can do, if she does want to conceal her identity a bit more, she can maybe wear the hoodie. So that'll be good. You know, it just gives them more avenues to shake a character up a little bit. Right, so next we're going to move on to the penciling stage. Okay, so this is where you add some more detail into it. So just remember what you're drawing. Hope everyone's staying safe out there at the moment. It's a bit of a scary time, but I'm sure your parents are looking after you. My two are 7 and 5 and they want to be out and about and playing, and they don't really understand why they can't be. But it's very important that you keep yourself in as much as possible. Yeah, sure, you can go to the shop if you need some groceries, but you've just got to make sure that you're staying in as much as you can. And the thing is, there's so much technology to play with now that staying in's not such a big deal. When I was a kid, staying in, oh God, I sound old. I'm going to stop right there, you know. If you ever start a sentence with, when I was a kid, you know you should stop it. Make sure you add a bit of shadow under her lips, because the lips do cast a little bit of shadow on that part of the lip right there. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Cheekbone coming in. Get the ears. Ears were always a funny one for me. So you go around the inside, do a little bump there. Then from there you do another tiny loop and into there. And then you get like a 3D shape of the inside of your ear. Let's see. So this needs a little connector there. And the band going round. Then when you want to do a fade in from your hair, you make a straight line there where it comes in, and you just do some lines getting lighter and lighter as they go along. There we go. Make sure you get her eyelashes in, because she might be a tough girl, but she's still very feminine. never confuse a woman or a girl being tough for being man-like or masculine, because women are the toughest creatures on this planet. They're so resilient, they're incredible, and they don't have to be more man-like to be a tougher breed. In our next lesson, I'll show you how to ink the characters. So that involves using pens like this. If you don't have a pen like this, I'm sure lying about somewhere you've got something like this, which will do, you know. It's just to get the basics down. Oops, my bad. Probably tell this is my first proper YouTube video, but either way, doesn't matter. I really like my hair already. I think it's really cool. And then you got a hairline. Remember, when you're drawing a hairline, it isn't just a line, okay? People have various different hairlines, and also it's normally more of just a scratch down, because obviously the hair's coming into it. And then just give it a colour on the inside. Try your best to stay inside the lines. Of course, your hero that you're drawing might not even have hair, or might be wearing a full bodysuit like Spider-Man or Deadpool or something. But when I'm drawing it, went outside the lines. When I'm drawing a superhero for myself, or any character, I like to be able to see their face. Unless I'm drawing a bad guy, because bad guys, not seeing their face sometimes adds an element of scare to them. They're sometimes a bit extra creepy because of it. I have been drawing comics since I was 13 years old. When I was in comprehensive school, me and a friend were really into Dragon Ball Z, like massively into it, loved it. And he knew that I could draw, and he wanted me to do him a comic every month based on Dragon Ball Z stories, writing my own stories, or sometimes just adapting different ones. And he would pay me £1 for every issue. And it was a good little business I had going in school. Probably consider it my first job. Pound isn't much like, to be fair, but you know, it got me some sweets from the sweet machine at school. It got me a drink, so it was nice. It's never too early to start drawing comics and superheroes and manga and all of that awesome stuff. If you love it, do it. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Because I tell you what, I was not the most popular kid in school for the like the cartoons and the comics that I was into. Because God, I was such a I wasn't into football. Wasn't really into any of that stuff. I like to sit in the library, read a Spider-Man comic, or you know, read 2000 AD, or just chill there. And I loved it. And you don't need to justify what you like to anyone. Okay? If a kid at school is calling you names because you're into something that they consider nerdy, just walk away and just continue doing what you want to do, because you're not hurting anyone and someone out there thinks what you do is awesome. So all you're doing here basically is just going over the existing blue lines. And what we'll do right after this is we'll come up with a name for her and maybe a symbol. Now that I'm drawing her, she reminds me a little bit of Static from the Static Shock comic book. That's published by DC. It had a cartoon on in the early 2000s, which is probably long before many of the people watching this was born. But it was pretty good. I liked it. Remember, she is still a girl. Keep her feminine and keep her awesome. Well, as I said, yours might not be a girl. Anyone thought on what they're going to be doing in this time of social distancing? As I said before, you've got loads of technology at your disposal. But I can imagine not being able to get out and ride bikes is going to be a bit boring. I will be sat at home looking after my two boys and trying to get as much drawn in as possible, trying to get them into it as well, because they would rather be on the video games, which is completely fine. You know, I've been 7 and 5 before myself. Give her a zip down there, because it always annoys me trying to figure out how a superhero got into their costume. You must take Batman about 3 hours to get his tights on, because they do not look comfy. I'll give her a zip up hoodie. Just make sure you get the lines from the zip and the bit of fabric that's sewn around it. Just the lines as well. There is such a thing as too much detail, but I wouldn't consider this to be it. Right, so let's give her jeans as well, because she is still a teenage girl. And teenagers don't have the budget for loads of spandex and body armour. Right. Here we go. Right, so there she is, all of her glory. Let's try and figure out, oops, almost forgot that. Let's try and figure out who she is though. So, let's erase some of these blue pencil marks around her. Not going to get them all, but there is a trick to this later on. Which, oops, I may be able to show you. So, what do we know about her? So she's Afro-Caribbean. Hope I spelled Caribbean right there. Setting a bad example if I haven't. She has had an illness in the past. The treatment of that maybe gave her superpowers. But what are her powers? So, she needs to be able to fight long distance, to fight someone like Contagion, doesn't she? So, long distance. Maybe she can shoot laser beams. Maybe out of her hands. Maybe out of her eyes. But then that's kind of ripping off Cyclops because she wears the goggles as well, isn't it? Maybe. Oh, she's got to be quick, hasn't she? Has to be quick. I'm thinking maybe more agile. Than quick, kind of like Spider-Man, how he can bounce around his opponent, but he's not like the Flash, where he's just running circles around them. He's keeping them on their toes, he's getting around them, he's wearing them down, but he's not just overpowering them straight away. And considering she's a teenage girl, she's going to face plenty of struggles. That can be one of them. I think what might be cool there is having her be able to shoot beams out of her hands and be really, really agile, be really quick, have like cat-like reflexes. I think that'll be awesome. So, powers. Heightened agility. And hand beams. We need a symbol for it, don't we? What I think I'll do, I think I will leave naming this character to you, and we'll come up with a symbol from that. Okay, so come up with a type of name that suits someone of this power. And this character, tell it to your parents. Your parents can either comment it below on YouTube or put it on my Facebook page. That's J Horner Illustration. And I will choose the best. And then I'll also, if the post office is open, send them a signed copy of the artwork that I'll print out, so I'll get rid of all this stuff around it. How does that sound? Okay. So that was a lot of fun. Stay tuned to the Facebook page. I will be posting a second one of these lessons where I will be teaching you how to ink. And then following that, how to come up with a story based on your new character, and maybe even how to write and draw your first comic book page. But till then, I've been J Horner. You can follow me on J Horner Illustration, well, your parents can, which is on Facebook. I also have an Instagram under that same name. I also have a Twitter under J Horner. And as I said at the start of the video, if you wish to support me on Patreon, you can. The link will be in the description. There'll be extra goodies for patrons that I haven't quite figured out yet, but I'll get there. Until then, thank you and goodbye.